And we're back!
With more movie reviews with Devon!
That was over dramatic.
I don't care, I was excited!
We don't have as much chemistry as The Rock and Kevin Hart.
The Rock and Kevin Hart have a wonderful chemistry, honestly. Can there be Can there be an MCM award at the Joe and Devon Oscars in February?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, listen,
MCM, it's happening. Go?
Yeah.
Just go now.
Just go.
Just go. Okay. Movie. Alright. Central Intelligence, to me, is a decent movie. I went into this movie expecting a lot more laughs, and I didn't laugh as much as I wanted to in this movie.
Yeah.
Jokes, some are decent, some of them, they don't hold up. There's one joke where he's like, "You look like a black Will Smith." And Dwayne Johnson says that to Kevin Hart. And
I don't know if that's racist.
That's funny. It makes me laugh, but I don't know if I get that.
Oh, it's kind of funny.
Black Will Smith.
It's kind of funny, because then Kevin Hart is just like, I don't know if that's racist enough, but I'm going to go with it.
I don't know if I get that 100%. Some jokes, though, do hold up. That joke, though, where he's like, The Rock being a stupid nickname, I wish that made the final cut.
Well, that was just a blooper, but it's kind of sad. One down thing about this movie.
The blooper is the funniest.
That last blooper is the biggest laugh they got out of me. So that sucks, but...
Alright, so I'm not done.
Okay. Oh.
The first hour, to me, it's an hour build-up, and then 50 minutes of action, and then a 10-minute wrap-up. This movie, and I feel like the hour build-up was too much. Like, you don't get to the CIA showing up at Kevin Hart's door and starting this whole entire movie.
The pacing was awkward. It was.
Until an hour into the film. The first hour of the film is seeing what happened 20 years ago in high school, and them re-meeting, and him sleeping on the couch for the night. That's an hour. That could have been cut down to half an hour at the most. It's an hour, and that made me mad, because when it got to the part where he gets into the pull-out couch that night, I thought to myself, this has been going on for a while. So I glanced down at my phone to see what time it was. The movie was already just under an hour in. And I was like, it's too long of a build-up.
Here's my thing. I have to jump in now, because I'm not agreeing with what you're saying. I liked when they meet up in the bar.
Like it too.
No, hang on. I gotta get this out. I like when they meet up at the bar. Their chemistry together is good. This movie relies so much on Dwayne Johnson. Without Dwayne Johnson, this movie's not watchable.
Without the fanny pack, it's not watchable.
The fanny pack. But no, when the CIA gets involved, that's when the movie falters for me. This script is so predictable. You've seen everything before. It's frankly not well done. The dialogue's not good. The actual plot of this movie is literally bare bones. I mean, even when this is a spoiler, by the way, so if you want to see this, but I don't recommend it per se. When Aaron Paul jumped in this movie, he was in the elevator.
The guy from Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah. Okay. The second I saw him, because it sells that he dies right in the beginning. He was Dwayne Johnson's partner, and it sells that he dies. The second I saw him, I leaned over to you and I was like, I bet you $1 million. Well, I didn't say $1 million, but I bet you he's the bad guy.
Yeah, it was obvious.
It was so obvious, and it's not just because they got Aaron Paul to do it. Because anyone who's seen movies knows if you get Aaron Paul to do something, he's not just going to die in an elevator and be done. But it's more than that. It's so obvious that Dwayne Johnson's not the bad guy here, because he's a cuddly teddy bear. You know he's not the bad guy. If he was the bad guy, he'd be killing all the CIA agents. He's been trying to miss them.
What also makes me mad, okay, so continuing with this, the fact that I felt like the action sequences first were not that well directed.
They weren't terrible, though.
They weren't terrible, but they made me dizzy at times.
Yeah.
They did. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
That's one thing. Aaron Paul's character, like you said, it was completely and totally obvious which was going on, which I don't like about a movie. When I go to a movie, I want the plot to not be, like, so complex like Inception, which, by the way, though, still wonderful with that plot. But I want it to,
A lot of exposition, though.
Yeah, I want the plot, though, to be interesting. It was very bare, and of course you need to expect that with a comedy, but it was bare for a comedy.
It was absolutely bare bones. Everything you expect to happen in this type of movie, it happens. If you've seen Rush Hour, if you've seen any other movie like this, you know where this movie's going.
To me, though, the writers, they were very indecisive. Like, Kevin Hart keeps going back and forth from CIA to Dwayne Johnson's side. Back and forth. He is very indecisive, and I felt like the script was written like that because they just didn't know what the hell they were doing.
The characters
and then
are
when
bland, too.
It was done. Yeah, I'm not at the characters yet.
Oh, wow.
And then when it was done, the movie's like at the end, and you find out Dwayne Johnson isn't the bad guy and everything. It's like, okay, they just wrote that, and they didn't feel like to go back and like change it. This movie just slips back and forth, and it just gets old. Like at first you're thinking, oh, okay, which one is it? Like the plot kind of interests
boring.
you. Yeah, it just gets boring.
A little
you get
bit.
annoyed. I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
I have a tell when we watch movies that if I'm getting bored by a movie or a movie's pissing me off, even if it's minor, I lean forward so he sees that. He's like, uh-oh.
I said to him, I haven't seen you this agitated since Now You See Me Too.
This movie's not that bad. There's laughs in here. There's laughs in here. And I could totally imagine someone coming out of this thinking that was great. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't hitting me as much as I wanted it to hit.
The characters, like you said, are bland. There's not really like, there's kind of a build-up in the beginning of the characters, and you kind of get that. But then part of Dwayne Johnson's character, okay, Dwayne Johnson is the best part of this movie. Do not get me wrong.
Absolutely. He's the only thing that saves it.
Part of his character doesn't make sense. He just has this random love for unicorns.
That's never explained again. I expected that to go somewhere.
I know. I don't get that.
He's just a weird guy, and the writers are like, how can we do that?
And like him being a dance.
This movie's written by 4 people.
I honestly, I thought.
I'm shocked.
I didn't think anyone wrote this. I thought it was just scribbles on a page that became.
Actually, Ike Barinholtz has a credit on this writing.
Is that? That's sad.
I love Ike Barinholtz. He was so funny in Mad TV, and he's great in the Neighbors movies.
He did Neighbors movies.
He's Seth Rogen's friend, the adult friend.
Oh yes.
He's funny in those.
Yes,
he's a funny dude. And this movie is funny. There are funny moments. It's just the story itself and the movie itself. It's not funny enough to fit through 2 hours of this predictable.
I didn't laugh that much. I didn't. Like there were parts where you get a good laugh, like when the guy says, like, I'm a Scientologist.
That was great.
I pissed myself laughing.
God granted me the ability to love? No, I'm a Scientologist, bitch.
Jason Bateman, thank God.
That was a great response. Jason Bateman, that reminded me of his character in The Gift.
I know. I just love it though, like when he turns around in that chair and it's Jason Bateman and the whole theater just pissed themselves laughing.
Yeah,
like,
Jason Bateman's awesome.
He's in everything this year.
Yeah, he is. Also, another thing, Amy Ryan plays the CIA agent woman. I can't even remember her name. Completely wasted. You got Amy Ryan to do that, and you put her in a character that doesn't even have an arc? Why?
Do any of these characters actually have an arc, though, really?
No, none. Kevin Hart kind of has an arc, because he doesn't want to be the guy that doesn't peak through high school, but that is, like, bare bones writing. Like, it's not even an arc. It's just, like, there's a character trait, and it's like, okay, he doesn't want to... Where are you going with that? He doesn't really go anywhere with that.
He doesn't.
It's not that great of a movie.
No, it's not.
It has laughs, and I can recommend this movie as background noise, or if you have a couple friends and you're looking for a movie that's just a little funny, but you don't have to pay attention to, rent this movie when it comes out, get a pizza, get some beers, smoke them if you got them.
I mean, you can also probably make a drinking game out of this.
You probably could. Every time Kevin Hart freaks out.
Every time Kevin Hart freaks out like I would, you take a shot.
Every time Dwayne Johnson mentions a fanny pack.
Take a shot.
I love the tagline of this movie, though.
I'm sorry, the
tagline.
Oh. Yeah,
saving the world takes a little heart
and a big
Johnson.
Yes.
That's so funny. That's funnier than the movie. But yeah, this movie exists. I don't hate it. It won't be on my worst of the year list, but it's not great. I don't recommend theater prices. If you really need to see it, rent it, or wait till it comes on demand or something, or buy it at a garage sale. I don't know. Netflix. It's not the greatest movie. Are we going into grades?
I just want to wrap up mine quickly.
Okay.
The movie as a comedy, I think the fact that this movie is a comedy and it has laughs, it's why it's not a complete and total flop for me. But in terms of, like, being
the script's just not good.
Yeah, no, it's not.
The script's just not good.
It's not.
And you know what? Honestly, I hate bringing up director film, past film things, because it makes me feel like a nerd, but this guy did We're the Millers 2 years ago. We're the Millers didn't get as good reviews as this movie. Like, this movie's fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, I think. Don't quote me on that.
I don't know.
But, We're the Millers has, like, in the 40s. We're the Millers is a damn good comedy. I liked it. I laughed. The 4 characters have arcs. It's a good screenplay. It's not great, but it's a solid B.
The only part of We're the Millers I've seen is when they're gonna blow the cop.
Here. Okay, let's see. You're this bottle cap, right? And I am this cigarette butt. Okay, that's us. Right? Okay, he's over there, right by that bush. That's him. We'll make him the pebble. You will go and meet him behind the bush right over there. Then you're gonna suck his dick, and we're gonna get out of here. Okay, bring it in on 3.
What? No.
I didn't like this movie. It wasn't great. It's very forgettable. It's bland. It exists. What's your grade?
I'm giving it a C+.
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 I am gonna give it a C-, because it's just Dwayne Johnson and even a little bit of Kevin Hart trying. They're trying. They've
got good chemistry.
They have good chemistry.
And the jokes, I think that's what saves it for me in the end.
Yeah, a little bit. It really is Dwayne Johnson. And Aaron Paul's not bad in this movie, but he can't escape the Breaking Bad thing.
No, he can't.
That is such a
Also,
nitpick
just
of mine.
before I forget, this movie overworks pop culture references.
It
Like,
really does.
overworks it. And that made me mad. Like, the first few ones, I was like, okay, how funny, yep. It gets overworked. If they mentioned 16 Candles one more time, I was gonna light the place on fire with 16 candles, for crying out loud.
I love that so much. Roadhouse is not as good of a movie as you think it was. It sucked then and it sucks now. That was funny. I love that joke.
That sucks worth is 16 Candles.
But Aaron Paul, no, I have to rant this out now that we have internet and I can talk to people about this because it's bothering me lately. Aaron Paul gets stuck in a movie. I love Aaron Paul. I think he's a good actor. He was great as Jesse in Breaking Bad. Let him move on. Please let him move on. It actually pisses me off that he keeps having to do Breaking Bad references. Like, there's a scene in this movie of Kevin Hart shooting at him and it's an empty gun. He throws it at him. He catches it and he's like, nice throw, bitch. And it's like, oh, Jesse, it's not funny. It's just not funny. I'm tired of seeing that. He's better than that. He's a good actor. Let him move on. That's all I need to say. This movie's a C-.
All right, C- from Devin, C+ from me. I think that wraps up this review.
Unfortunately, we couldn't do two good movies in a row.
We are sorry. But hey, you got Finding Dory as A's from us. Like, honest to God, take that shit to the bank.
That is true. We haven't even done B's yet. It's only been great or shit so far.
Anyways, those are our review for now. Join us next time. He's Devin.
And he's Joe.
Peace.
See ya. Subscribe to us.
Yes.
Woo.